Hi guys, and welcome to this week's review. And this week's review is on an amazing piece of kit, and it's called the Arccos Caddie. Before we go on and deep dive into the actual system itself, I'm just going to do a quick overview on the golf course. So earlier on today, I went to the golf course at Celtic Manor, and I just basically played a few holes using the system. Now, I've used this system exclusively for the last 2 years, so I know pretty much everything there is, the good and the bad, about the whole system itself. So if you're interested in buying it, or you're interested in seeing whether it's something for you, or even if you own it and you want to see a few extra features, watch along in this video. You're going to learn everything there is to know about the Arccos Caddie system and the new link which goes with it. So I guess over to me on the golf course, and I'll see you back here after this. We're at the golf course, we're ready to go. Obviously we're here at Celtic Manor 2010 course, so I'm going to go into the app now. Arccos, up it comes. And I've got my link on, which is a new bit of kit, which I'll talk to you about later. All that really does is mean that you don't have to have your phone in your pocket. So you can buy that as an extra or not, it's completely up to you. We've got our stubs on the end of our grips. Obviously we've done that before. And one on the putter right the way through. Or we've got the smart grips, which is the other system which you could use instead of the stubs. Start round. Okay, so it's found the course. It's optimizing my GPS accuracy of the link, syncing with my bag, and we're off. So here we are, we're on the first hole. It says it's 481 yards, par 4. And the first thing to look at is we can see the hole, which is lovely. We can zoom in and look at any particular nasty bits on the green that we've got there up near the bunkers, and we can just simply with our finger tap on the screen and move that anywhere we like, and it's going to give us a yardage to that point. Now the good thing about this, like with other apps, Golf Shot and a few other these kind of apps that you see on the market right now, you know, those things are pretty good actually, but you'll see the difference between this one. Not only is this very, very clear, so we can sweep it up and down, but if I'm just going to put it over that bunker, it's saying here, next to my 233 yards, which is what it's already worked out that I hit my 3-wood, I could go into that bunker on the left. So we can have a look and think, well, if I hit a driver, maybe I can carry those bunkers. And it's saying 287, which is a little bit of a long carry, but you can see if I drag it down and put it in the middle of the fairway somewhere I want to be, it's saying 3-wood, 3 iron. So this is a long hole. Or I can click down the bottom right here and click on Ask Caddy and see what the caddy. And what this is doing is working out from all my play that I've done over the last 2 years, and every shot I've hit, it's worked out a strategy, the best strategy for me. And there we go, it's saying it's going to be a 4.4 strokes to get down, so that's close to a 5. It's a very tough hole, 481. And it's saying if I hit my 3-wood, that's the best option for me. So 3-wood, 3 iron onto the green is what it's saying. Now it's saying that so I lay up short of those bunkers, and then it's a 3 iron. You can click on these here to see the actual shot, and this is the percentage of what I would do. So I've got 26% left, I've got 36% right, and I've got 37% in the center. And then I can go up to my 3 iron, and it does the same. I'm gonna hit a green rate of 30% there. And you can see top left, long, short, right or left. Okay, so the other thing is we can go back down here. Okay, so on this instance, that is just the only strategy for me, unless I'm feeling brave and I want to hit driver and take on those bunkers, which it's worked out is not a good idea for me. Let's go on and just play the hole. I can hit straight at that bunker on the left, so I won't go in there. It's just at that bunker on the left, just on the right edge of it. Good. Happy with that. Let's go. Okay, so we get to our second shot. Obviously I've not done anything between the last one and this one. I've not pressed any buttons. I've not really done a thing. And this is the first screen that we get that comes up. And this is the rangefinder. Now we can see there what they're trying to say here is distance to the flag, front, middle and back. If somebody has been out already and put the flags in, which I will do now, then the rest of the day, or the rest of those flag positions on that day, will be automatically put into your, so they will be accurate, which is brilliant, I think. You know, if you've got somebody else with Arccos and they go out and do the work for you on the morning, that's perfect. But the front, middle, or back is fine, especially from where we are. On the right, we've got the plays like, so that is taken into account. You can see the temperature at the top there. We got the wind, mile per hour, and we've also got the elevation. So as you can see there, that is exactly what it's playing like. So not playing too much different because we're slightly down and across the wind, although it is slightly up the hill. Okay, and then you tap in the middle of the screen here, and we can see what we hit the last 3 wood. So it's very wet today, so it's pitched and stopped. So that's 239 yards from my last shot, which is an amazing thing as you're going around to have a quick look and see exactly how far you've hit it. And now we can do the same thing again. We can tap on the green or the bunkers and see what it is to carry like that. So if I hit it to the middle of the green, there we go, it's saying 3 iron. Now, sometimes you might think, oh, I want to be extra careful and go to the back of the green. So I go right to the back of the green and it's still saying a 3 iron. Or we can look at a bunker and think we want to carry the edge of that bunker. So now what I can do is I can ask Caddy. So the Caddy's now going to tell me my optimum stroke. From here, I should get down in 3.5. It's quite a long hole. So in my head, I'm thinking if I make 4 here, it's a bit of a bonus, you know, so it can kind of give you a much better understanding of how you play and what your expectations should be. Okay, so I know I've got my 3 iron right now, so we'll exit out of that. It's saying I've got my 3 iron detected, and hopefully this should get us up pretty close or nearest the green. It certainly is the best strategy for me to do, having played over the last couple of years. So it knows my game very, very well. As you can see, look at it, called that bunker, that would be short of that bunker with this wood, because I aimed at that bunker, and sure enough, here we are, we're short of it, which is perfect. Okay, so I'll just try and hopefully, you know, hit a good strike on this one if I can. It's at the green, it's just down the right. I think it's okay though. Okay, let's get out there and have a look. So it's tracked all the shots so far. I've not had to worry about anything whatsoever. I've just got to try and read this putt and hole it for par. Nope. Just finished the hole, unfortunately, made a bogey, but it did say on strokes gains that I would have a strokes gain on this hole of 4.4. That would be like almost a 50-50 whether I'm going to make a bogey or a par. It's a tough hole. So let's have a look at the what we've done. It's tracked all of the shots here. We hit the 3 wood off the tee, 234. We missed those bunkers, that was nice. We had 211 in, which I hit a 3 iron. And if I zoom in there, I can see what I did. Then I hit a little chip from the side there, so I was about right with my distance. And then I went on and I had 2 putts. As you can see down at the bottom, we've got strokes. There, I had a 5 there. I had 2 putts. As you see, it's just changed on the top right to +1. So there we go. I click on that +1, and there we go. That's our scorecard that we can see all of our holes on the course that we're playing. And so that's pretty much as easy as it is. You just carry on round, just forget about it. These little sensors on the top, they obviously notify the app when shots are being taken. If you take more than 1 shot, or maybe you have a practice shot, it won't count that, but you can easily delete them afterwards. What I tend to do is at the end of the round, I'll go through and I'll move my pin positions so they were roughly in my head where they were, so we can get an idea of our strokes gains on putting. But mainly, I'm primarily basing it on the rest of my round. So putting is a nice stat to have, and you can put that in, but it's not, you know, essential if you're not working on that area. But everything else it just works.
Okay, so the Arccos system itself, as you can see, it's an extremely easy system to use. It's basically a system that delivers automatic shot tracking. There's a rangefinder, and then we've got the strokes gained player's insights. So there are main functions of the actual device itself. Okay, so we're going to break it down into categories, and to start off with, we're going to actually look at the shot tracking itself. So there's a few different systems. As you've probably seen from the channel, I've changed my clubs recently. So I have the stubs, which I just simply screw into the end of the grips. Now the stubs we have to put on every club. And so basically when you pull your club out and hit your shot, the system knows exactly what club you've got. It's as simple as that.
Now you can also get these, which are the grips. You come in 3 different lots. Well, there's quite a few different size grips you can get, but we've got a few different smart grips. So if you're not really a club switcher and you've got your set of irons and your woods, the grips themselves would be the best way to go, because those grips then would stay on and they're a very small profile, you don't even know they're there. Because I tend to switch my clubs around a little bit, it's quite nice for me to then just take the stub out and put it into the new one, and it's absolutely fine. You don't have to reprogram or do anything to do with the Arccos app itself. But if you're not one of those and you're settled on your set of golf clubs, the smart grips are the ones with the smallest profile. You don't even know that they're on there. But with the stubs, you can just about feel it in your hand, especially if you're one of those players that play quite near the end of your grips, and there is that little overhang. But to be honest, I don't even know they're there. Once you get used to it, it's completely a non-issue. I wouldn't worry about it at all. So the stubs are really good if you're going to switch your clubs a lot, and the smart grips are really good if you are going to just basically have the system and stick with the clubs you got. The latest feature from Arccos is the newly released, and that's the Arccos Link. Now you probably won't know this, but here's the kind of mini unboxing. So this is the Link itself. It is an incredibly beautifully made bit of kit. So we just got a clip there which is going to go onto one side, and this is a lovely rubber material and the button on the top. Now all the Link does is allow you to not have your phone in your pocket. So you can put your phone on your buggy, or you can put it in your golf bag and then completely forget about you having the system and just go out and play, and then all your shot data will be collected by this. If you don't have this, you have to have your phone in your front pocket, and then that collects all the data. For me, I've used it for 2 years, competitions, tournaments. Every single time I go out and play, I always carry my phone in my pocket there anyway. So this has been a nice addition. I've enjoyed using it, but you know, I would only recommend it if you're not used to using your phone, or you're particularly against having your phone in your pocket. For me, I get the actual phone out every single shot I hit. I'll be looking at the information on the phone, so you can imagine you're going to look at it every single shot if you're going to use that, and that's something we're going to come on to next. So basically you want to decide whether you get the stubs that you put in the top, or whether you're going to have the grips. Or if you're going to have the Link, so you have to need your phone, the Link is sold separately. I'll put all the prices at the end so you can reference them, and I'll make links to the website also, and I also have a 10% discount code. So now onto the Smart Distance feature. Now the Smart Distance will collect all your information, so that's every single time you go out and play, as long as you've got your Arccos Caddie working, that will collect all the information of every shot you hit, and it will basically, so every single 5-iron you hit, it will get rid of the biggest ones and the shortest ones, you know, the ones you get the big flyers and the ones that you duff, and it will end up with a smart distance for each club, driver right the way through to Sandown. Now what that will then do is that will give you an exact distance for your golf club. The great part about this, firstly, for you to know exactly whether you've got any gaps in any of your irons, because it will line up all your irons next to you when you look at it on the app, and it will show all the clubs. So you will be able to accurately always see whether you've got maybe a 7 and 6 iron both going the same distance, or maybe your wedges are all going the same distance. You can see instantly. Now this isn't something that you would collect at a shot lab with a professional, or if you hire a range and you go to the range and you get your numbers off of a mat, maybe with a TrackMan or something like that. No, this is, you will get this data from you being out on the golf course in various different modes. So sometimes it'll be fun, so you can just kind of be whacking balls out there with your friends, and other times you'll be under competition heat, a little bit pumped up, shall we say, and it collects all that information, which I love, because quite often I will, in a practice round, I'll just be banging my driver out there 20 or 30 yards further, sometimes hitting various shots with irons that would be different to what I would be doing if I'm in competition play, where I'm trying to find a target. So really what I'm trying to do is I always want to find out under the pressure, which is when it counts the most, what my clubs are going to go, how far they could maximum, how far they could minimum, and exactly in the middle, so you know that range.
absolutely crucial to every person. Just this one feature alone is worth the whole system. It means that when I say to you, how far do you hit your 7-iron, you know exactly how far you hit the 7-iron under all conditions. And this is an amazing thing. Also, it's constantly learning as well. So it's constantly adding all this data from your play. So maybe you get a swing fault and your iron starts to drop off, or you lose some club head speed, or you're not striking it so well, or maybe you've got a lot of spin on your irons all of a sudden. You can see these clubs drop off, and you can see that maybe you were hitting a 7-iron 150 yards 6 months ago, and maybe you're hitting it shorter now. Or maybe you get a new set of irons and you can track all that process. But the main thing is, you can definitely say to yourself, when you get over a shot of 150 yards, you know exactly the club to hit. This is crucial because a lot of people go to the range or they go to a shot lab and they'll go and hit their 7-iron and they'll hit a few 170 yards. They'll hit a few 130 yards, but they'll never be looking at that average shot. They'll always be looking at that furthest one, and they'll be thinking to themselves when they're over the shot, it's 170 yards, I'll hit my 7-iron, because if I hit a really good one, it'll be right on the pin. That's not the way to think about golf. You always have to think about what your average shot's going to be. So the one that you hit the most. So if you hit 700 7-irons, you want to get an average from all those irons, and that is what this system collects, all that information all the time without you knowing about it. And then all your facts are there for you to see, and it's from every different way of playing. So that is an amazing thing to see. So the Rangefinder. Now the Rangefinder is the first artificial intelligence powered rangefinder. Now the beauty of this is, like I showed in the demo earlier, you can swipe up a section to look for a spot where you want to hit it, be it on the green or on a fairway, and immediately it will be giving you the absolute club in your average that you will hit that distance. So you can just drag it up until you get to a point and you'll see it going through saying, 7-iron, 6-iron, 5-iron, 4-iron, as it gets further away up into maybe the green. Or maybe you're off the tee and you want to find a place to land, or there's a dog leg. You can absolutely guarantee if you put an average swing on it, your normal swing, it will give you the exact club. Obviously, if you hit a poor shot, there's not much we can do about that. But it is nice to know that that average is there and you know what your average is. So this is a great rangefinder. It's a rangefinder like no other because it knows you like a tour caddy would. And your strategies can be worked out on exactly how far you hit the ball for each hole, which is amazing. So it gives you that on this par 4, however long it is, you should hit this, and that will be your best chance as you play up to this date of making a good score, or the best score you can. So that is an amazing rangefinder option. So the other thing which is amazing about an AI powered rangefinder and all the stats that it's taken from you is the fact that this is also going to adjust for the slope. It's going to adjust for the wind. It's going to adjust for temperature, if it's extra cold or extra hot. It's going to adjust for humidity, because that makes a big factor. And it's also going to adjust for altitude. So it gets all that information and it collects that together with the information it's already got on you from your club selections and the way you hit the ball. And it's going to give you an accurate assessment, like the most accurate assessment of your shot that you can possibly have. And with this system, you get it on every single shot. So you get the caddy advice going on your figures. So the next category is the Ask Caddy, so caddy advice. Now, if you click on the bottom right-hand side, like I showed in the clip, it will come up using the AI engine. It will collaborate all the information that we spoke about that it takes from you as a player and all the outside elements, and it will give you the best or the optimum strategy on every single hole. So you can press that button and it will give you the optimum strategy, which is, you don't have to go with that. Now, sometimes we're unaware of these things happening, but when you've got an AI powered engine there behind you, collecting all these stats and all this information on you, it's going to make the best decision for you as a player and how you hit your shots. So it's very interesting sometimes to see, oh, maybe I'll hit a driver, and you can change it to a driver.
and then sometimes it will say you're going to make a bogey more often than not. So that's a really nice peace of mind sometimes to know that you're doing the right thing based on your own stats. So the final one is strokes gained. Now this strokes gained is a fantastic feature. It's using all this information it's got not only on you, but hundreds of thousands of other golfers that are also on the system, and it's comparing you with somebody similar or better than you. So it would suggest if you're an 18 handicapper and you want to improve, you would set your strokes gained, that the person that you would compare your golf to, you would put about take 5 shots off. So you might say, I'm going to compare myself to a 13 handicapper. What it would do is it would compare your overall game to all the other 13 handicappers on the system, which is hundreds of thousands of shots, and it will give you advice on every part of your game. So do you drive it the same kind of distance as that average 13 handicapper? Are you hitting the same amount of greens, the same amount of fairways? What are your up and down stats? What are your putting stats? What are your stats from the rough? What are your stats from the fairway? What's your long irons like? What's your short irons like? Every single bit of information. And then at the end of the round, you can simply look at this in a very clear graph, and it will give you all the information. It will even say to you, maybe you're hitting your driver a little bit too short, so you're basically losing shots to a 13 handicapper. So this would be a way to improve. And it then says you should work on lengthening your drive by 20 yards, etc. And so that's very interesting, because then you can compare yourself. With strokes gained that we've seen on the tour with Mark Brody and all those guys, and the analysis that goes on Rory compared to DJ, well, their stats are collected from the tour. So they're always, all those numbers are just for the tour, which is a completely different league to your average golfer. When you've got someone like Arccos with all this information, that is a really powerful lot of information, because that's on average golfers like us all, and it enables us to compare ourselves to a player a little bit better than ourselves. And so it's really great. It doesn't matter what handicap you are, even if you're off scratch or a +3 and you want to compare yourself to a tour player, you can do it, and it will then tell you what you need to work on to get your stats the same as that tour player. So then you can go to your coach and you can say, look, these are the areas I need to work on, which brings me onto the dashboard. So you can take this, once you've logged in, all that information is kept on your phone. It's also kept in the cloud, so when you get home onto your computer, you can get it on a big screen, and you can see all your stats and everything you need to know on the computer if you wanted. You don't need to, you can just use it on your phone, but you can do that. And the other great thing is if you're a coach, you can then access the information from this person that you're coaching, and you can see all that information and you can work. So before you even get that person in for even a first lesson, you can look at their game and say, oh my, okay, so their irons are underpowered, or they're hooking an awful lot, they're losing a lot of tee shots to the right, to the left, their bunker play's poor, we need to look at their putting, and all these different stats are going to be clear there. There's going to be no lying. There'll be none of this, hello, Mr. Davis, so how far do you hit your 7-iron? Not needed anymore. We can see all the information, and it's the best way to go straight into the root of any problems that you may or may not have. So before I go on, I'm not sponsored by Arccos. This is not a sponsored ad. All the gear and equipment I have been sent, but I'm under no obligation to give a positive or a negative review. So all I can say is I literally would not go out and play a round of golf without using my Arccos. I use it every single time. There's so much enjoyment when I come back in after a round. I've put my clubs away, I've finished for the day. Maybe I'm lying in my bed, I pick up my phone and I can look through the round and I can think, wow, I did hit that tee shot well, that one went further than this one, or what did I do on that hole, and all the different strategies, and I can look exactly, and then I can compare myself to a player a few shots better than me. And so that's a really lovely thing to do. I absolutely love it. Now I feel like if I go out and play golf and I haven't got it, I feel like it's a wasted round where I could have been collecting stats on my gameplay at the moment. I would literally say it's the best piece of kit to come out in the last probably 10 years. It immediately helps golfers. Just the Smart Caddy alone is worth the whole bundle price for you to know exactly how far you hit it.
But then to get all the different bits of information and advice on your own personal game through compared with other players is just absolutely vital. I can't recommend it highly enough. I think it's the best thing out there at the moment. I think everybody should have it. I know TaylorMade have just signed up for it. Ping have already got it. Cobra have got it. So, I mean, people are catching on. I could well believe in another few years' time, every player on tour will have it, because it will connect everybody's stats up together instead of literally having to kind of write the stats down, which we have to do at the moment. Even tour players, they have markers out there writing down distances and collecting information. So I think it's the future. I think it's definitely the future to your game, because it's the amount you can learn. And for £170, which is the price of the stubs, like, it's the best £170 you're going to spend if you're keen about improving on your golf. It's not too technical and baffling. It's very easy to use. It collects the information very easily. So I hope you enjoyed that review. I'm very passionate about this project and this item. Anything where the AI engine is developed by Microsoft, you know you've got the leading minds on it, and I can't speak highly enough of it. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, and there is a 10% discount in the link down below if you're interested in purchasing any of these items. But good luck, and I recommend it for you guys. I'll see you next week.